Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Kamen Rider Zero Spike back again once again today, people. Today we here for Kamen Rider Geats episode 2. In this episode we explain exactly what the the Desire Grand Prix is for, and we actually see characters, and well, we get introduced to like a very colorful amount of characters this episode. And also we get to see that a lot of these we get to see a lot of a lot of weapons and a little loot and attachments being used, seeing all the different kinds. And I mean, we ain't seen all of them, but we've seen a good amount of them in this episode as well. And we also saw how exactly people are recruited for the Desire Grand Prix and what exactly it's for. So the episode basically starts off with Kiwa or Kiwa. I'm saying Kiwa. Kiwa sounds cooler. Kiwa is brought in with a bunch of other random people, and we see that our main girl, I'm gonna call her AI for now. I think she's an AI. I feel like she is some type of AI, or all I know, I don't think she's human. I don't think so, but she explains what the Desire Grand Prix is. Basically, what she gives everybody like a pen and paper and whatever, and she basically gets everybody to write down exactly what their desire is. But we see Ace's desire, which I don't know, it probably maybe something I would want, but he basically, since he won the Prix last episode, technically, he made it a world where everybody loves him. Everybody loves him. That's probably why, he has such this pristine attitude about himself, because this guy, it just seems like he always wins. I don't think Ace most likely has ever lost the Grand Prix. As confident and arrogant somewhat as he is, I don't think this guy's ever lost, and that's probably why Buffa hates him, because he always wins. I don't know, because he just knows that he's gonna win. Like, I don't think he's cheating or anything like that, but at the same time, it just seems like he's always won. It just seems like he really is the main character. But I feel like Kiwa is real. Kiwa giving me like that underdog main character type thing going on. But we see that we see all the new contestants, and they end up getting put into basically a treasure hunt. And the treasure hunt was basically, all you have to do is fight off the Gemato, and the Grand Prix was created to fight off the Gemato threat. We don't know where they came from or anything. I guess they came from like an alternate world, but we see that also the Gemato look different in this episode. They don't have like the red robe thing going on. They have like a whole new look to them, and we actually do see the we don't get like a fortress. We don't get like a fortress head boss in this. It seems like we just got like a big boss Gemato, and we see that we see that all these characters get introduced, and we see that after these people go off and they do the treasure hunt phase, they ended up getting whatever Gemato they defeated. They get loot, and this loot basically is a attachment. It'd be a shield, or it'll be anything, maybe like even some of the stuff that Geats used in the last episode, which was the Magnum and the boost. Turns out they aren't his items, they aren't his stuff. You just have to be lucky enough to find it. So we see that one guy, he ended up getting the Magnum, and we see that I think he was either the Panda and the polar bear look exactly the same. Now, I think he was the Panda this time. So we see that he ends up getting Magnum, and he has like the gun and everything. And I'm just like, he basically just looked like how Geats looked with the white armor and stuff. He just had the Panda head. So we see that this guy's kind of a dick. Like he seems like he's kind of a douche. And we see that Buffa is also a douche. And we see that Kiwa, the guy from Kiwa's interview, the guy that was interviewing him, and the other girl, they all got loped into this as well. And we see what with the I think it was Mr. Tara. We see what Mr. Tara was desiring. His desire was to save his son. His son is very sick, and he doesn't have like the money to for his son's operation. So we did see that Quinoa, well, he said he was kind of getting more acquainted with Quinoa. We see that Quinoa actually his item that he ended up getting after feeding a Gemato was the boost thing that we saw Geats use. He ends up getting it, and he doesn't get. I mean, I was hoping he would have gotten to use it, but we see that since he ended up getting that, we see that since he ended up getting it, we see that Geats is kind of keeping an eye on him because that I guess that's Geats like favorite. That's like his favorite, his favorite accessory, favorite attachment. So he kind of keeps an eye on Quinoa. Kind of following him. We did see that Geats ends up getting the water attachment, and when he gets it, it's just a water gun. So he sees that the water that's shooting out of it is very weak, so he just ends up using it as a 2x4. He just ends up like bashing Gemato with it. So after they won like that round, they end up going to this place, a place where they can rest. This man in white as he comes and gets them, and they sit in that place for in between rounds or stuff like that. So we did see that one character, I guess he was kind of like an older dude. He ended up getting the shield, and I think this guy. I don't know if I'm gonna like. I mean, I kind of like everybody, but Buffa and that other dude who got Magnum. They're kind of jerks, but you always need the jerks, man. You always need the guys that think they're better than everybody out here. So they ended up going to before they end up going to the next round. The man in white, he answers the phone, and we see that. We said there was like an emergency where the boss Gemato ended up, coming up, and we see that only 7 people are left, which means those other contestants probably died or they didn't get any type of loot. So that's the only way. That's basically like the only way you could have gotten into that place was you have to defeat a Gemato and end up getting some loot. So we see that they end up going to battle the boss Gemato, but we see that everybody basically hinges up. Actually, everybody hinges up in this in the next round, and we get to see everybody's animal forms. And there's 7 people, so we got to see everybody's like animal forms. We see that the girl, I forgot her name, but the girl, she is a cat. We see that Quinoa was a raccoon. Mr. Tara was like a owl. Geats is a fox. Buffa's a bull. The other guy was the panda, or I think he was the panda this time. And the other guy, the pink guy that wanted to trade his items with Quinoa, this guy was he was a sheep. Yeah, he was a sheep. So they're all fighting the regular Gemato. When we see that Mr. Tara, he ends up getting ambushed and he ends up getting killed by the boss Gemato. And we see he dies in Quinoa's arms. And yeah, it was that Geats is kind of keeping an eye on Quinoa because he wants that boost item. So we see that we see that Quinoa ends up giving Geats the boost item. And after he lies to him and tells him that I'm fighting because I just want to help unfortunate children around the world, and that's what got Quinoa to give him the ace, basically give him the boost item. So we see that Geats hinges up, uses the boost item, and ends up defeating the boss Gemato, and he reveals that all that what he said was a lie to Quinoa just for him to get the boost item. And he actually says that, oh yeah, thanks for being such a fool, you look pretty gullible anyway, so yeah. And he's like, wait, all of that was a lie? He was like, if you read books, foxes are usually known to fool people, which is true. But yeah, he said foxes are known to really mess with people. So yeah, so we end up seeing that now that 6 people are left. They'll get called back in when another Gemato attack it. When another Gemato appearance happens, and we see that since Ace won, he ends up giving the hospital anonymously giving the hospital enough money, enough donations to help Mr. Tara's child, Mr. Tara's son, which was cool. It was kind of that was a nice thing for him to do, but he said he was going by the nameless fox when he made the donation. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Episode kind of ends off right there. But I do like the dynamic. I do like it. I do like the idea of the game. I'm glad that they shared what exactly the Grand Prix is. If you win, you become the Desire God. Stuff like you recreate a world that that you desire, things like that. And also, even if after you've written down your desire, even if you change your mind, you still have to fight for that one thing you did, for that one thing you made before. So since Ace won again, I wonder what his wish was this time, since you get the opportunity to change the world however you want it. And yeah, so it was pretty cool. I did love this. I did really like this. I love the exploration and the explanation of what exactly is what's going on. And I'm prepared to, and we see that Kiwa is very gullible. He's very naive, but he's a lovable character. I really like this guy. Like, I really like Kiwa, and I'm really ready to see his badass moment when it happens. But yeah, Mr. Tara. I mean, overall, like, people dying, man. We're gonna see that eventually. I mean, even Kiwa actually said, like, what if my desire? He says, hey, since the game is over, like, can you bring back all the other contestants? And the girl's like, if that's what you wish. So possibly Kiwa will try to bring everyone back to life who died before them, if that's possible. So yeah, but other than that, this was a good episode, man. I did love this. I love when Geats actually took on the boss Gemato, and I love how he fights. I love how he kind of sort of uses the environment when he fights as well, kind of using the trees and different, and like just the environment in general. He uses that, but it was really good. I really liked this episode. Like, it was pretty freaking cool. So, strong episode, a lot of explanations of what everything is. We actually see the masked man at the end. He's like, Kamen Geats, what you trying to do? Like, it's that guy. So I wonder who that guy is. I'm very curious. But other than that, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of episode 2 of Kamen Geats. And I'm gonna see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and remember, stay henshin.